Hey everybody, I am Tammy Cranage. Welcome to week 5 of our 13-week CMA-A-Day challenge. And I am so honored to be your host of this awesome event. And I'm excited to bring to you tonight Kendra Cooke. Kendra has been in real estate for over 28 years, served 100 families annually. She knows what it is like to work till 2 a.m. and serve all of her clients at the same time, taking care of a family. If we have time, she'll tell you how she used to sneak out of her house at night. Then she learned how to do this business in less than 40 hours. So she's going to share tonight. She's going to share with us her tips and tricks on you doing a CMA-A-Day, growing your database. A lot of times we're in the business for a long time and we don't know how to do a database, or you're newer in the business and you don't have a database. So Kendra, please welcome to our group here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I kind of introed you there. Give us a little bit of your real estate background, and then tell us a little bit about tell us about database.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for hosting. And I'm super excited to be here tonight. I want to bring a ton of value to you guys. So I won't spend a lot of time on myself, but I got into real estate by default. The day I graduated from high school, I moved across the country to go to law school and was going to work in the summer. The summer job that I wanted was gone. So I went to a temp agency. Now we're talking, 30 plus years ago, and no cell phone, no GPS, no beeper, no nothing. And got placed in a temp agency at a real estate company, and I've been doing it since I was 18. So people say all the time, oh my gosh, what are you going to do when the market crashes? I'm like, I'm going to keep working real estate. I don't have any other option. I worked for Dairy Queen a little bit and a bartending job part-time. Other than that, I'm real estate all the time. So I'm excited to be here and share with you guys some tips and tricks, but also some pitfalls that we can all fall into in real estate. So I will tell you that I don't buy leads. I've never bought leads. I don't know how to buy leads. So when I got into real estate, I had to figure out how to do real estate without cold calling. And I worked for a top producer for a really long time, about 7 years. And I love the fact that everybody he worked with knew, liked, and trusted him. And I thought, wow, that has got to be the best model ever, because he never had to pick up the phone and cold call. And everything I heard about real estate was you got to knock doors. And, this was in the late 80s and the late 80s, early 90s. And it was knock doors, and it was cold call, and it was sitting in an open house. And I thought, gosh, I could never do that. I want everybody to like me. And if they hang up on me, it's going to hurt my feelings. And so I just knew that there had to be a better way. And so I was able to learn from a top producer for a really long time that if you work with people who know, like, and trust you, they refer at a higher level, they're more loyal, they let you lead them because they hire you because you're the professional. And so it just set my mindset to really build a relationship-based business. So I got into real estate full-time in sales when I was pregnant, and thought I just wanted to work when I wanted to work. Ha, ha, ha. All realtors on here that are laughing at that. We work when everybody else doesn't work, which is nights and weekends. And so kind of a misconception there. But I got to the point I was desperately trying to survive. And so I got in some really bad habits. Working a lot of hours. Tammy mentioned I snuck out of bed at night with my husband to drive to the office in my pajamas. That was the second attempt to save my marriage. The first one was we removed our home computer to the office, so I couldn't sneak in there at night and stay up all night. And then we moved the computer, and then I snuck out to the office and went to work. So I was not a really good wife at the time. I was a dang good realtor, but I was not a very good wife. So long story short, in a desperate situation, I was able to find the core training, which is who I work for now. And I'm the senior real estate coach here, and travel and speak. And I coach all of our top producers and our coaches that are active in the industry, just like you guys. So what I want to talk about tonight is building a database of people who know, like, and trust you. So if you're newer to the business and you haven't started putting together a database, I'm going to share some stats and some information with you that's going to be crucial for you to grow your business through the CMA challenge a day that you guys are working on. I'm hoping you'll pull some nuggets from this. But first and foremost, if you do not currently have a database, open your cell phone. That is now your database. And you've got to get that information out of your phone into a CRM of some sort. There's a million of them out there. I don't even care if you use Outlook. As long as you have their name, their address, their email, and their phone number, you now have a database, okay? From there, you can grow from that. But the reason a database is so important is from all of our tracking here at the core, we know that 15% of the people who know, like, and trust you, that you communicate with consistently, you need to write that word down, consistently, 15% of them will move or refer you every year. That is a proven stat. That's a minimum. So we like to say if you had 400 people in your database and you mailed and you called and you visited them on a consistent basis, if 15% of those moved or referred you every year, that's 60 leads, folks. That's 60 leads. And we know that referrals, warm leads, warm referrals convert at a much higher level. So let's say those 60 leads, you close 70% of them. 42 to 45 deals a year guaranteed just from working the people who know, like, and trust you, okay? So when I talk about a CMA-A-Day, I would be looking at your database. I would be looking at a call plan, and in the core we have one. Who do you call on Monday? Who do you call on Tuesday? But the bulk of everyone we call is in your database. It's just categorized in groups so you know what group to call each day. Okay, so just a quick rundown. Monday, we call VIPs. Those are very important people to us in our business and our life. Tuesday, we do status calls. Those are people who are already in contract with us, looking for leads or referrals or an additional house to sell or buy with you. Wednesday, we call our old leads and our hot leads. Thursday, we call a letter of the week. That's what we're talking about. So I'm going to stop there. Your database should be divided up by letter of the week. And what does that mean to you? That means everybody in your database that starts, their last name starts with an A is who you should be calling, let's say this week. Next week, we call the B's. The next week, we call the C's. Why are you calling them and what are you looking for? Here's how these referrals come to you. We use an acronym, either FROG or FORD, whichever one you want. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams, or family, recreation, occupation, goals, whatever acronym you want to use, but write that down when you start calling through your database. And so how's the family? Do you still work at X? What'd you guys do this summer for recreation and fun? And then the D part is, hey, what's one thing in your house you would love to change? If you could change anything in your house that I sold you 5 years ago or 2 years ago, what is it? And it might be something as easy as, hey, the pink bedroom that I told you I was going to paint because I just can't stand the pink walls. I haven't done that yet. Great. Now they have given you a need and you can fill that need. So we find the need. Now we fill the need. Hey, with your permission, I will email you and connect you to my preferred painter after this conversation. And when you're ready, he will give you a very fair quote on my behalf that you can use so you can go on and get that done. Does that help? Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Guess what the next thing they say to you? What can I do for you? I'm so glad you asked, right? And that's the opportunity to say, hey, I'm looking for someone who needs to buy or sell real estate. I have a niche property. Do you know anybody looking for a cabin? Or I have a new lake property. That's an opportunity for you to get a lead, okay? Now, the flip side to that is when you're interviewing them and you get to the dreams, what's one thing you would change about your house? And they say, you know, we have 3 kids now and we only have 3 bedrooms. So we're bunking up, they're getting of the age, we're probably going to have to move. So, you know, I would have a 4th bedroom. That's a great place to hit the pause button and say, gosh, you know, the market's hot. Most of us have a ton of equity in their home right now. They're flying off the shelf based on the market that we're in. What if I printed out a CMA and ran over tonight at 5:30 or tomorrow at 6, which is better for you? And we can talk about if now's the time to consider it. Now you've just set your listing appointment. Okay. So you've got to find the need with them and fill it. And you're not going to do that by sitting behind your computer and social media posting, I have an open house or who needs to buy or sell. Okay. You have to create the urgency for them to have a conversation about why they need to buy or sell. Okay. To finish out our theme days on Friday, we call business people that can help us grow our business or finish up the rest of our call list that didn't get done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. So there is a need there for you to start calling your people in your database. If you got to build it, get it out of your phone, then start calling your letter of the week. Now, I want to give you a couple of more little tips, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Tammy. I don't want to inundate you with a ton of information, but I do want you to know this. There are 3 reasons people don't refer us. It's really this simple. Number one, we don't ask. So those of you that are sitting here saying, I don't want to call my database, I don't want to look desperate, I don't want to bother them, let me help you. If it's the desperate piece, I need you to understand you are desperate. You are desperate. You have mouths to feed, houses to pay for, cars to drive, kids to put through college. If you haven't paid for a college tuition recently, you're going to need some money. Okay, it's very expensive. Listen, you are desperate. So move past that. Ask people for their help. If you don't want to say, who do you know that needs to buy or sell? Hey, I need your help, right? I'm looking for another client just like you. Make it about your style of ask, but you have to ask. Number two, people don't know how to refer us, okay? And number two reason people don't refer us is they don't know how. So we have to stop and remember that not everybody in our database is in a sales position that needs referrals. So when we say, hey, who do you know that needs to buy or sell? And they say, I don't know anybody right now, but I'll send them to you when I do. You need to stop right there and remember, I'm in relationship with these people. They have kids that go to college, or they have kids that play ball, or they are very active in their social community. Put them where they could refer you. So when I say people don't know how, you got to educate them, okay? And so what does that look like? It looks like, hey, Tammy, I know your kids play ball and you spend a lot of time at the ball field. So you may hear somebody there say, hey, my parents are thinking about moving here, be closer to the grandkids. That's a good lead for me. Or I haven't told my kids yet, my husband's up for a promotion. We may be leaving the team after this year. Great person to refer me to you. So that's where you can find me some referrals. So can I ask you to keep your ears out when you're at the ball field? She's going to say, of course, right? So that's helping them find referrals for you if they don't know how to refer you. Okay. And the number three is we did not wow them during the process when they were buying or selling with us, and they do not want to refer their family and friends to us. Okay. So we have to do a better job of staying in communication with them. What I mean by wowing them through the transaction is good communication. Okay. But even after the fact, you guys, we use so many things in our business, as in, I want to be your realtor for life, but we get our check and then we never call them, or we never mail them, or we never offer any services to them. And so then we wonder why when we drive through the neighborhood and somebody else's sign is in their yard, we get irritated. Okay. So if you go back to the one word I told you to write down was consistency. So you have to stay in touch with them. We have a mail call visit program that we do, but more importantly, you just have to start somewhere. So my tip tonight is pick up the phone. I gave you a system, who to call the letter of the week. I told you what to say, use your acronym, and make sure that you close for referrals. I promise you, you will find an appointment a week every time you make those calls based on using that information. Tammy, I hope that helps you guys tonight.
That was amazing. There's a couple of things that I definitely want to unpack with this.
Okay.
For those of you who have been watching over the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of different techniques here. So you guys saw Jimmy Burgess, who showed us all technology, and some of the pushback on that was, I don't know how to use BombBomb. I don't know how to use Google Maps. I don't know how. And then Kendra has now given us a very simple tool. You need your phone. You pick up your phone, you open up your contacts, start with the letter A, and just make the call. Just pick up the phone. That's actually going to be my lead in for this, is just pick up the phone. So the technology, okay, don't use fancy things like some of these others are doing. And then I love how you said that you never paid for a lead, because I hear that all the time. Buying Zillow leads, buying Boomtown, whatever the leads are. And you said 40 to 45 deals a year that will eventually convert if you just ask your one person a day. So that was all really great information. So I'm checking through here. I don't see any questions. We had like 6 people watching, so that is exciting. Guys, we are week 5. This is the time. We're almost at the halfway point where people feel like they want to quit. So Kendra, do you have some tips about that? You're at the halfway point. Maybe you haven't, maybe you've kind of not done anything for the first 5 weeks. And now here we are. We're about 10 weeks from, we're about 10 weeks from Thanksgiving. What do you recommend if you haven't done anything yet and you really want your first quarter to be set up well? What do you recommend for those people who are thinking it's too late, I can't do anything now?
That's a great question. So listen, you guys, plant seeds all the time, everywhere you go. And here's the one thing that I learned when I came to the core is I always took December off. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to bake cookies. And I'm just going to be the room mom. And I'm just going to do all this because nobody buys or sells in real estate in December. You know, I convinced myself of that. And what I learned was December is one of my biggest months every single year in real estate because of all the seeds I planted January through there. So you can't quit now. Listen, it takes 7 times to become a habit. So if every Thursday you called a letter a week out of your database, I promise you, you will set yourself up for the rest of the year and into that first quarter, because what you're doing today will field you results within 90 days. So when you don't do anything now, we're going to feel that in November and December. Then when you're trying to get on the phone with people and have break breads and do things with them around the holidays, they're like, gosh, I'm room mom, right? I can't do that. I can't move. My house is full of Christmas presents. So you haven't set yourself up for success because you're not going to get any appointments at the end of the year. And then you're going to go into the new year with little to no business on your book. So I'm telling you, plant the seeds every day, but start right now. It's not too late. Get your pipeline full because what you're doing today will take care of you 90 days down the road. Listen, 7 times for a habit, suck it up, get on the phone. It's free. Here's 2 things I'll tell you really funny. It'll make you laugh. 2 things I can tell you about the phone. Number 1, you can't get a black eye on the phone. Period. Ever, ever, ever. Nobody can sock you in the eye, right? If you're standing on a porch and you're knocking doors, somebody can sock you in the eye. Can't get a black eye. And number 2, if you haven't been cussed out in real estate, you haven't lived. So pick up the phone. If somebody yells or cusses at you because you haven't called them in years, say next and move on. Hope that helps you guys.
All right, Kendra, thank you so much. Guys, Kendra is in the group, so she will monitor the chat. If you have any questions, make sure you post them. Make sure you give me a shout out as to where you're from. Do hashtag where you are, because I know you guys are all over the country. And then if you are interested in being coached, I am also a part of the core training, and Kendra is coaching some of the most top real estate agents in this country, and she would love to talk to you about that as well. So Kendra, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys, I'll be back again this week. Have an awesome week, and we will see you again soon. Bye.
Thanks, Tammy. Bye, guys.